What if I told you that the key to unlocking your creative potential isn't just about brainstorming or thinking outside the box? Today, we're going to explore the hidden pathways to creativity that most people overlook. I'm here to challenge everything you thought you knew about boosting your creative skills. Are you ready to rewire your brain for innovation? Let's start with a provocative idea. Creativity isn't a gift bestowed upon a chosen few. It's a muscle that can be trained, a skill that can be honed through deliberate practice and unconventional methods. But here's the catch: of the traditional advice you've been given might be holding you back. First, let's tackle the myth of the Eureka moment. While sudden flashes of inspiration do occur, they're rarely the whole story. Real creativity is often born from the collision of ideas, the unexpected connections between seemingly unrelated concepts. To cultivate this, try this: create idea collision journal. Every day, write down through random ideas or observations. They can be anything: a quirky advertisement you saw, an interesting cloud formation, or a snippet of overheard conversation. At the end of each week, force yourself to find connections between these disparate elements. This exercise trains your brain to see patterns and links where others don't, a crucial skill for creative thinking. Now, let's talk about the power of constraints. Counterintuitively, limitations can supercharge your creativity. When faced with unlimited options, our brains often default to the familiar. But when we're boxed in, we're forced to think creatively to find solutions. Try this: next time you're working on a creative project, impose arbitrary restrictions on yourself. If you're writing, ban certain common words. If you're designing, limit your color palette to just 2 colors. These self-imposed challenges will push you to find innovative workarounds. Here's a technique that's rarely discussed: embracing your circadian creativity. Your brain's creative potential fluctuates throughout the day, and it's not the same for everyone. Some people are most creative in the early morning, others late at night. Instead of forcing yourself to brainstorm during normal work hours, experiment with different times. Keep a creativity log for a week, noting when your ideas feel freshest and most original. Then, restructure your schedule to capitalize on these peak creative periods. Let's delve into the concept of productive procrastination. While procrastination is often seen as the enemy of productivity, it can be a powerful tool for creativity when used strategically. When you're stuck on a problem, instead of forcing yourself to push through, switch to an unrelated task. This gives your subconscious mind time to work on the problem in the background. The key is to engage in activities that occupy your conscious mind without being too demanding, things like gardening, cooking, or taking a shower. You'll often find that solutions emerge when you least expect them. Now, let's explore the role of physical movement in creativity. We often think of creative work as something done sitting at a desk, but movement can significantly boost your creative output. Try walking, brainstorming, take a notebook, and go for a walk, jotting down ideas as they come to you. The combination of physical activity and changing scenery can stimulate new thought patterns. For a more intense approach, try extreme environment ideation. Brainstorm while doing something physically challenging like rock climbing or swimming. The adrenaline and focus required can lead to breakthrough ideas. Here's a technique that might surprise you: deliberate daydreaming. While we're often told to focus and avoid distractions, letting your mind wander can be incredibly beneficial for creativity. Set aside time each day for structured daydreaming. Find a quiet place, set a timer for 15 minutes, and let your thoughts roam freely. The key is to observe your thoughts without judgment, noting any interesting ideas that arise. This practice can help you tap into your subconscious mind and uncover novel connections. Let's talk about the power of diverse inputs. Creativity thrives on new experiences and information. But here's the twist: don't just seek out information related to your field. Make a habit of exploring topics that seem completely unrelated to your work. If you're a writer, study quantum physics. If you're a programmer, take a course in art history. These diverse inputs will provide you with a unique perspective and fresh analogies to apply to your work. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: failure. Fear of failure is one of the biggest creativity killers. But what if I told you that intentionally creating bad ideas can boost your creativity? Try this. Set aside time for a worst idea brainstorming session. Challenge yourself to come up with the most ridiculous, impractical, or downright terrible ideas you can think of. This exercise removes the pressure of perfection and often leads to surprisingly innovative concepts when you start tweaking and refining these bad ideas. Here's a technique that's often overlooked: collaborative competition. While competition is often seen as the antithesis of collaboration, combining the two can spark incredible creativity. Organize a creative hackathon with a group of peers. Set a challenging problem and compete to find the most innovative solution, but with a twist halfway through. You must share your ideas with the group and build on each other's concepts. This combination of individual ideation and group refinement can lead to breakthrough solutions. Let's explore the concept of reverse engineering creativity. Instead of starting with a blank slate, begin with the end result and work backwards. Choose a product, artwork, or solution you admire, and try to deconstruct the creative process that led to it. What problems did the creator face? What constraints did they work within? What inspired their choices? This exercise helps you understand the creative process from a new angle and can inspire novel approaches to your own work. Now, let's talk about the role of emotional states in creativity. While we often think of creativity as a purely cognitive process, our emotions play a crucial role. Try mood-based creation. Deliberately put yourself in different emotional states and observe how it affects your creative output. Listen to music that makes you feel melancholy, joyful, or angry, and then engage in creative work. You might find that certain emotional states unlock different types of ideas or approaches. Here's a powerful technique that's rarely discussed: creative cross-pollination. Choose two completely unrelated fields or concepts and force yourself to find connections between them. For example, how could the principles of beekeeping be applied to urban planning? How could the rules of improvisational comedy improve financial planning? This exercise stretches your mental flexibility and can lead to truly original ideas. Let's delve into the power of sensory deprivation. While we often seek stimulation to boost creativity, sometimes less is more. Try creating in complete darkness or silence. This forces your brain to rely on different inputs and can lead to unique perspectives. For a more extreme approach, consider a flotation tank session. The lack of sensory input can induce a state of heightened creativity. Now, let's explore the concept of productive destruction. Sometimes, to create something new, we need to break down the old. Choose a project you're working on and deliberately destroy a key element. If you're writing a story, kill off your main character. If you're designing a product, remove its primary feature. Here's a technique that might seem counterintuitive: scheduled spontaneity. While spontaneity is often seen as the opposite of planning, you can actually boost your creative output by scheduling time for spontaneous creation. Set aside a block of time each week with no agenda other than to create something, anything. The key is to commit to this time and show up, even if you don't feel inspired. This regular practice of creating without pressure can lead to surprising breakthroughs. Let's talk about the power of constraints in a different way: time pressure. While we often think we need lots of time to be creative, severe time limits can actually boost innovation. Try rapid ideation sprints and give yourself just 5 minutes to come up with as many ideas as possible for a project. The time pressure forces your brain to bypass its usual filters and can lead to surprisingly original concepts. Now, let's explore the role of physical environment in creativity. We often underestimate how much our surroundings influence our thought patterns. Try environment hopping. Work on your creative projects in a variety of locations, from busy cafes to quiet libraries to outdoor spaces. Pay attention to how different environments affect your creative process and output. You might discover that certain types of spaces unlock different aspects of your creativity. Here's a powerful technique that's often overlooked: cross-modal creation. We tend to stick to one mode of expression: writers write, painters paint. But translating your ideas across different mediums can unlock new creative potential. If you're a writer, try expressing your story idea through a series of abstract paintings. If you're a musician, try translating a melody into a sculpture. This process of translation forces you to think about your ideas in entirely new ways. Let's delve into the concept of creative rituals. While we often think of creativity as spontaneous, having a set of rituals can actually enhance your creative output. Develop a personal set of habits or actions that signal to your brain it's time to be creative. This could be anything from wearing a specific item of clothing to arranging your workspace in a particular way. Over time, these rituals can help you quickly get into a creative mindset.